I should say good morning because it's 8 minutes past midnight. I was going to bed. I couldn't remember where these books were. I have got more somewhere else, but these ones stink. They are so old. I think I've got about 5 here. I had a request from Wise Owl. I don't think this is wise to be doing this at this time of night, but I'll be doing Christian things tomorrow, so I'm not a deep sleeper. So I thought, yeah, so I'll do Brer Rabbit. Brer Rabbit's a Rascal. So this is Enid Blyton's Brer Rabbit's a Rascal. And there's quite a lot in this book, but I think I'll record them one at a time. Probably you've got grandchildren who've never heard these. I have, but I don't know the grandchildren. Only the little ones. The adopted ones, I mean the mothers. But my own grandchildren, the youngest is 8. I'm going to meet him in October. Praise the Lord. And the next one is 12, and then the others are all grown up. So this is called, and the book stinks, so if I pull a face you'll know why. Brer Rabbit's a Rascal. I hope you're sitting comfortably, children. This is how we used to listen years ago. Now once, when Brer Rabbit was hard at work, scraping on the stones of his bit of ground, he heard a cry for help. Off he went, rake in hand, to see what the matter was. It was the little girl belonging to the farmer. She had been fishing in the river and had slipped and fallen in. "Save me!" she cried, and went swirling past Brer Rabbit, her skirt spreading out on the water. Well, old Brer Rabbit, he ran beside her, jabbing with his rake, and at last he got hold of the little girl's belt and hauled her back to the bank. There she sat, sobbing and crying, her arms round Brer Rabbit's neck. "You come home to your ma," said Brer Rabbit. "You're wet. She'll dry you and give you a good hot drink." So off they went together, the little girl clinging to Brer Rabbit as if she would never let him go. And my words, when the farmer heard how he had saved his little girl, there wasn't anything he wouldn't have done for old Brer Rabbit. "There's a sack of carrots over there," he said. "Take it. And there's a sack of potatoes too. You're welcome to it. And while you're about it, help yourself to a sack of turnips. You're a born rascal, Brer Rabbit, but you're good-hearted, so you are. Now off you go, while I still think good things of you." Now, when Brer Rabbit was wheeling home his 3 sacks, whistling a merry song and feeling on top of the world, who should come along but Brer Fox, Brer Bear, and Brer Wolf. How they stared when they saw Brer Rabbit with so much food. "Carrots, turnips, potatoes, sacks of them," said Brer Fox. "Hey, Brer Rabbit, give us some, and don't tell us you've come by them honestly, because we shan't believe you." Brer Rabbit was most annoyed. "You go and ask the farmer," he said. "He gave me them with kind words, so he did." "Now you're telling stories," said Brer Wolf. "You give us some of those carrots and turnips and potatoes, Brer Rabbit, or we'll come along one night and help ourselves." "I might have given you some," said Brer Rabbit, wheeling his barrow away with his head in the air. "I might have given you some if you knew how to behave." Brer Bear, Brer Fox, and Brer Wolf stared after Brer Rabbit. Brer Fox scratched his head. "Well, however he got those sacks, he's going to share them with us, whether he wants to or not." "Shall we go along to his place tonight and see where he's put the sacks?" "Yes," said the other two, and Brer Fox grinned at them. "Meet me here. We'll slip along in the shadows, and my, won't Brer Rabbit be angry in the morning?" No, old Brer Rabbit had a kind of feeling that Brer Fox, Brer Wolf, and Brer Bear might be along that night. He wheeled his sacks to his shed, and he emptied all the carrots, potatoes, and turnips out on the ground. He picked out the bad ones and set them aside. Then he took a broom and swept all the roots along the ground to his cellar. Bumpety, bumpety, bump, they rolled down into his cellar, and he shut and locked the door. Then he went back to the shed again. He took the sacks to the pile of stones he had scraped off his ground, and he filled them almost to the top with stones. But right at the very top, he didn't put the stones. He put a layer of bad carrots, a layer of poor potatoes, and in the third sack a layer of rotten turnips. "Oh, Brer Rabbit, you're a wily one." He dragged the sacks back to his shed and set them up against the walls. Then he went indoors, leaving the shed door unlocked. And if this isn't a nice way of getting rid of all those stones, well, I'll never know a better one, said old Brer Rabbit. Now that night, along crept Brer Fox, Brer Bear, and Brer Wolf. There was a little moon, so they kept well in the shadows. They came to the shed and tried the door. It wasn't locked. That was fine. They slipped inside. Brer Bear pointed to the 3 sacks in glee. He looked in the top one. He could see dimly in the moonlight, and he saw potatoes. "Here are the potatoes," he said. "I'll take this sack. You follow with the others." Brer Wolf and Brer Fox, they staggered out with the sacks. "My sack is mighty heavy," said Brer Fox, groaning. "I never thought turnips could be such a dreadful weight." "These carrots are heavy too," panted Brer Wolf. "My, they must be good solid ones." Brer Rabbit saw the 3 of them through his window, staggering up the lane in the shadows. He grinned to himself "Nice of them to carry those stones away," he said. "I must thank them when I see them." Well, by the time Brer Fox, Brer Wolf and Brer Bear had reached their houses, they could not walk a step farther. They sank down on the ground, panting. Brer Bear thought he would make some potato soup, and he shook the sack hard, and out came 6 poor potatoes and about 20 big stones. Then Brer Bear knew he had been tricked, and he rushed to tell Brer Fox and Brer Wolf. But they had already found out. And dear me, the names they called old Brer Rabbit would have made his whiskers curl if he'd heard them. Brer Rabbit went out of his way to meet the 3 the next day. He raised his hat politely and gave his very best bow. "My best thanks, gentlemen, for so kindly removing all those stones for me," he said. "I shall have another sackful tomorrow if one of you would like to call for it." And then, my goodness me, he had to run for his life. But he didn't mind. He didn't mind that, because Brer Rabbit could always run faster than anyone else. As for Brer Bear, Brer Wolf and Brer Fox, they had to carry all the stones out of their gardens and empty them into the ditch. They were so stiff afterwards that they could not walk properly for days. "Ah, Brer Rabbit, it's hard to get the better of you, you rascal." I haven't read that in years, and the smell is still I don't want to spray this book because it's probably going to fall to bits, so it's sort of very special, but it's very, very ancient. It's so ancient, it's unbelievable. Yes, and it stinks. ENID BLYTON, a rascal. And it was printed by Purnell and Sons Limited, Somerset and London in 1965. So my first child, Sarah, it was born in January the 24th, 65. Cool, so this is as old as her. Oh my goodness me, and it's well, I hope she smells better than the book. Well, we'll read another one. I'll go book by book rather than otherwise my brain will get confused. I'll do the whole of this book before I start on the other ones. And how many stories in here? I'm not too sure, I didn't count. I know there's quite a number. It goes up to page 181, but that doesn't mean, so there's they're all varied. There's You Can't Trick Brer Rabbit, A Happy New Year, Brer Rabbit's New Year Gift, Brer Bear's Eggs, Bob's Meets Brer Rabbit, Fool His Ears, Brer Fox, Pull His Ears, Brer Rabbit Gets Caught, Brer Wolf's Dinner Party, Brer Rabbit and Brer Turkey Buzzard, Brer Rabbit's Pence, Brer Rabbit Joins the Party, Brer Rabbit and the Teapot, Bob's Meets Brer Rabbit Again, Brer Rabbit's New Shoes, Brer Wolf and Brer Fox, Brer Rabbit and Mr. Man, How Brer Rabbit Got the Meat, that sounds good, Brer Fox Has a Surprise, Brer Rabbit and the Flower Pot, Brer Fox Is Much Too Smart, Good for You, Brer Rabbit, Mr. Benjamin Ram and His Fiddle, Brer Rabbit's Astonishing Prank, Brer for Tricks, Brer Terrapin, Brer Rabbit's shilling. Bear Brer goes to the well, Brer Rabbit goes to the party. Brer Fox and Brer Terrapin. Brer Rabbit tricks Brer Fox. Brer Rabbit and the moon. Brer Rabbit scares his friends. Brer Fox is a snowman. Mr. Lion hunts for Mr. Man. Brer Bear's red carrots. Brer Turkey Buzzard in trouble. Brer Rabbit's apple tree. Brer Fox goes to market. Brer Rabbit and the guy. Brer Rabbit and the little girl. That's what's in this book. Oh, it does smell. To get a breeze on it. All right, God bless you all. I suppose Abraham and Jad, you're young enough to listen to this. I think it's probably a little bit too young for Jude, because he's 8. He probably wouldn't be into the Brer Rabbit. But he looks a bit of a rascal. Alright, God bless. I hope that was alright for you, Wise Owl. Some more coming along one day or night. It's now 12:25. It's early morning now, isn't it? So Sunday. God bless. Good night.